That's right, as we head into the weekend, all courtesy of a cold front. Now, that cold front will also bring us a good chance at some scattered showers and thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon and evening. Earlier today, we saw a few isolated showers popping up. Radar right now is sweeping clear across the area. Of course, that wasn't the case earlier. We saw a few of those showers, and they were fairly small, but they would pop up and drift off towards the west-northwest, and now radar again is clear. Had one little shower that popped up over Currituck County. You might be able to see it right in there. There it goes. So we could see an isolated shower in a few spots this evening, but the main batch of rain is still out towards our north and west. That again is with the cold front that'll bring us some relief from the heat this weekend. You can see that line of showers and thunderstorms off towards the west. Not well organized, but that cold front located right here through the Ohio Valley will slide southward tomorrow and then into early Saturday, likely stall just across North Carolina. So I think we'll still see a little bit of shower activity as we start the day on Saturday, but should start to clear out by afternoon. The exception might be across North Carolina. So let's time that all out with Futurecast. Show you what we expect. Southerly winds tonight will keep temperatures mild, and it'll be muggy tonight with overnight lows in the 70s and a chance of maybe that isolated shower or two along the Outer Banks or coastal North Carolina once again. As we go through the morning, partly sunny skies. Temperatures by noon already into the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. That's when we'll start to see those showers and thunderstorms firing up. And I think there'll be a couple of lines moving through. The first one in the early afternoon and the second one coming in a little bit later in the evening. And we could have some heavier downpours with some of these thunderstorms that roll through. So we'll be watching those rainfall amounts. Notice the wind switching around towards the north as we start the day on Saturday. This is 6 a.m. Cloudy skies through parts of the south side and the peninsula. Still a few showers across North Carolina, but by the afternoon we should start to see some partial clearing. And look at these afternoon temperatures, upper 70s. You don't see that in July in Hampton Roads very often, and clearing skies will continue to work their way in through the rest of the evening. Are watching the tropics and our new tropical storm. It formed at 2:30. It's a very small storm, very compact, less than 200 miles across. Might even be a little bit hard to see. That is Tropical Storm Beryl, with winds now up to 65 miles per hour. It's moving to the west at 14. Likely by tomorrow develop into a Category 1 hurricane. But then as it moves closer to the Lesser Antilles, some of the upper level winds will start to tear it apart. Looks to fall apart as we get into Sunday, but still bringing some gusty winds and rain through the island chain. Outside right now, we've got mainly clear skies. It's muggy though. Temperature coming in at 82 degrees, humidity 90%, southeasterly winds at 8 miles per hour, 77 in Chesapeake, 82 in Newport News, 81 in Melfa, it's 82 in Williamsburg, 80 in Matthews, and 81 in Elizabeth City. So for tonight, partly cloudy, muggy and warm, 77 degrees, and tomorrow 91 with those afternoon showers and storms, increasing clouds. And then tomorrow night, the winds switch around towards the northeast. Showers and thunderstorms scattered around, muggy and warm. But look what happens on Saturday. Breezy with those morning showers, mostly cloudy skies through much of the day. 79 degrees, but those winds out of the northeast 15 to 20, gusting up to 30. And the 7-day forecast looking beautiful on Sunday, 81 degrees with mostly sunny skies. Monday's not too bad, 85, but then those temperatures climb back into the low 90s for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.